We have rebooted. We have rebooted.
Is it in Twitch or on your computer?
It was my computer.
Fucking Tom's computer. Okay. Ask Eris, can you hear me okay now? Eris, tell Tom he's a dick.
He can hear us just fine. Alright, so what you were saying before the internet exploded.
Alright, so I'm going to say it again in a better tone. We're going to talk about harmonics. The new Guitar Hero announcement. We're going to talk about Destiny, the final fucking second expansion release. And MKX is going to take up a majority of the show. Our title for tonight, Finish Him with No Pants On.
I don't know why. I really think you should do introductions again because they were just so good.
Oh, did we not get any of that, I'm assuming?
They didn't hear any of it. They heard me.
All right, we're going to start all over again. I am your host, Chuck, your resident douchey first-person shooter player. I have with me tonight Tom, our resident Japan-loving RPG kid.
I don't understand. Why am I the RPG? I don't even like I play them.
You have played more than anybody else on this show, I'm pretty sure.
That's a good point.
He's still reveling in on his IDARB win over me.
True.
We're going to start a new fund. It's called Ship Tom to Japan. Not China, Japan. Gotta write this thing.
You can send me to China if you want, but I don't know what I'll do there.
Should do a GoFundMe. Send Tom to Japan.
Real quick, shout out to Jacob for the Sessions export, the premium golden lager. I'm gonna have to disagree with you though, man. Like, it is not that hoppy.
It is just way too hoppy.
And I've got our resident floating head, drawn floating head, Jacob, our industry in. He's here to bring the knowledge. And then I've got Christmas Tupac. Oh, I'm so happy about that.
Merry Christmas, you hoe.
All right, so
That's all. That was it. I dropped the mic. I was like, "Merry Christmas, hoe," and then I walked away with no pants on.
No pants on.
No pants on.
Oh man, I just got a glimpse of how white my legs are too. I can see him through all the hair.
Does Christmas Tupac say get a tan?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Can I propose something, Lance?
What's that?
Can we start with like the Guitar Hero news, the Destiny news, and then can we end on Mortal Kombat? Like, I just want to
that was what I
just want to ramble on about Mortal Kombat for a good 3 to 4 hours.
Mortal Kombat.
Can we finish it on Mortal Kombat? It's okay. I'll leave right now.
Is it?
Is that called a lame-tality?
Jesus Christ!
Everything is just babality, Jacob.
No, that's the girl next to the dead giraffe.
Oh yeah, that nobody heard me say that. Shout out to the dumb bitch on the internet that is blowing up my Facebook page. It took a picture next to a dead giraffe. Good job.
Giraffes too, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so let's talk about the harmonics announcement. Tell me about Guitar Hero. You two, go.
Jacob, you know things. Go.
They just announced a new Guitar Hero, basically. It's coming from a studio called Freestyle Games. So it's going to be a whole new studio. They ditched the guys behind Tony Hawk. I can't remember their name. But
oh shit.
Neversoft.
Neversoft,
yeah.
Well, Activision closed Neversoft, didn't they, a few years ago? Yeah.
So now it's Freestyle Games. They got a whole new guitar. It's going to have 6 buttons instead of 5. It's 3x3, so it's going to change up some of the play styles. They've done a first-person mode where you're in front of an actual crowd, and as you do crappier, the crowd will yell at you, tell you suck, throw beer cups and cans and stuff at you if you're really terrible. And then they have this other mode. It's like Guitar Hero TV. And basically you can play against a music video. So they'll be able to keep updating more music. And it just grabs the music video and you play over it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
And it's, I mean, I think it makes sense for their franchise if they're going to move into this, right? Especially with Oculus and whatever PlayStation's VR is called and Valve's VR. Morpheus, thank you. Makes sense. I have to say, I think their website is really cool. So if you go to GuitarHero.com, basically it says it's about to get real, and it's just got this image of this crowd, and the crowd is like bored, and then the crowd is booing you, and then the crowd is stoked, and it's kind of like the idea of what you'll see while you're playing. So it's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool. All right.
The question is have they waited long enough for us to forget how tired we got of Guitar Hero?
I think
That is
so.
a good question. I mean,
Seriously.
I think enough people still want it that they'll play it. Because you had a lot of the kids that still loved it. They don't like playing games like Just Dance. They don't like playing Dance Central. Rocksmith isn't for them because they actually have to try. I think that people will want it. I mean, they're even bringing back Rock Band this year as well. So,
God, I just got tired of like going to parties and everybody's fucking playing that goddamn game. Like, hey, you should play the game. Well, I suck at the game and I really don't want to play it. So
I got sick of the fact that nobody would sing if you're playing Rock Band. And then you get up there and sing, and then everybody's like, "Oh, you fucking suck. Sit down." And you're like, then you sing. No, I'm not drunk enough.
Yeah.
You fucking baby.
I was the guy that tried to do the Under Oath songs in Rock Band and threw my voice out. Because it turns out I don't scream good. I may like metal, but I definitely can't sing it. That's for damn sure.
I still want to make a metal band that is all geared around songs to do with being hungry and getting food. And it's like you start screaming when you start to get hangry. And I got hangry.
You could call it Hanger Pangs.
I thought you were just gonna call it Pangry.
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 It could be like Neolithic black metal about food.
Yeah.
So you could have a lot of like really heavy like drop C sharp riffs and just vroom, vroom, like really like drony dark stuff, and then super heavy breakdowns about eating pizza.
It should be baby metal.
Baby metal.
It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
That would be the title track on the album. Pangry, pizza delivery. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. Track 1.
Track 1. Nice. All right.
Can we have a really sick like techno breakdown before it goes into the heavy drums, like kind of like Refuse does in New Noise? I'm just saying, kind of cool.
I don't even know what you're talking about now.
You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so we're moving on. Destiny finally got a fucking release date for the second patch, but I think it's a little too late. I don't know how you guys feel, but I am bored as shit with that game.
Well, the three of us already left. I mean, Jacob, Arthur, and I have kind of defected over to Final Fantasy XIV at this point.
I need to defect over to that game really bad.
Well, and honestly, Chuck, I feel like Destiny's just like an abusive boyfriend to you. Like Sunday at Squatters, we're all eating, and you're like, I think I'm done with Destiny, you guys. I think it's over. And the very next day they announce the expansion. You're like, I'm back in. Sign me back up. He's changed. Destiny's done a lot of growing, you guys.
He promised me he'd never hit me again.
He's changed a little bit. He's going to change his ways.
It is kind of like being in an abusive relationship. I mean, no new raid. It's basically $35, which is
$20 I've already paid.
But and then it's a horde mode, right? Isn't that what it is? Basically, a horde mode?
It's a horde mode in the Prison of Elders. So it's a 3-team horde mode. So
wait,
we'll see.
Prison of Elders is this going to be new maps, or is this already existing maps that they're just doing a horde mode in?
Who knows?
Yeah.
And then I think 2 strikes I think is what they announced.
Oh, great.
The problem is by the time that hits, I mean, there's a good chance I may be close to level 50 and 14. You know, I don't know. We may have done a lot of the end game content, but I feel like as of right now, I would much rather put in the time to hit 50 in Final Fantasy XIV, see all that content, level up my crafting, get a bunch of the mega weapons, I can't remember what they're called, and then head into Heaven's Ward ready to roll. Like, that sounds way more appealing to me right now than doing the same shit on Destiny, I guess. Like, seeing the same environments, the same enemies.
Yeah.
Thing with Destiny is if you've got buddies that are on there playing, it's a good time. It doesn't matter how many times you've played it.
That's true.
But when you're just trying to grind by yourself and just do something and just get on and play, you've already done it. It's boring. Yeah. I don't want to do it anymore. But I play with my buddy Paul all the time when he's like, "Hey, come play." I'm like, "All right, cool." And then we just talk the shit and do random things.
Yeah.
Well, and honestly too, for Final Fantasy, no matter how late, like I came to that game very late, and there's still
Yeah.
people running old dungeons. But
Yep.
Destiny has a shelf life that's very, very limited. I feel like if I haven't done any of the raids really, and so if I were to show up today, I feel like I'd have a hard time getting randoms for it.
I don't think you can do randoms, but I feel like if you get plugged in with the right group, I mean, like I got lucky enough, like Jacob and Paul had kind of found this group of dudes. And I guess you guys connected to them through Alex, and I know Alex, so we all started kind of raiding, and they're still doing it pretty heavily. But I am interested to see, because they were talking about there's a different ways to level your character, level your weapons. I am interested to see what gear hits, what items hit, and I really, my favorite part of Destiny, I really did like when they did the Queen's Wrath. Um, so I would like to see if they do more based on the Queen. They could have some really cool worlds. I'm just afraid that it's going to be the Queen's content on the same environments.
I don't even know. I mean, my favorite parts are not the same as your favorite parts in the game.
You're right. We both enjoy different parts.
Is that a euphemism?
It was.
I had a feeling that's where that was going.
Gotta ask.
I think the high point for me was the Crota raid. That was I just don't think anybody else is
fun.
really. Yeah, it was great for the first, I don't know, 10 times I did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they are doing things better than a lot of people. But man, I'm just not feeling it like I was, and yeah, it is what it is. I don't know how much time I'm going to play on it, but I've already bought the expansion, so it's kind of hard for me at this point.
Might as well just play it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is that we already spent the $40 on the DLC, so we might as well get our money's worth, right? I think that's where I feel is
Exactly.
like when it hits May 19th, I'll be logging on. I mean, I spent the money, I've got to do it. But
Yeah.
and I guess that I almost wonder if it's not a problem with the development of the game, but of the audience the game was developed for. And I mean no disrespect to the hardcore Halo community, but if you think about it, the game almost fits that mold really well. In regards to, is your average Halo player going to do the same kind of grind that is required in World of Warcraft or FF14 or Guild Wars? Right? Like, not. I don't think the average person, at least when I was hawking the video games, the average person I would sell Halo to was not going to play WoW, right? They would roll in their Affliction shirts and their ball caps, and they would buy their fucking Halo. And so I think in that vein, Bungie has done an incredible job of kind of merging the two, and we have to give them credit for that. At least I would like to. They have done a really good job of molding that like ADD short-term shooter into a solid MMO experience.
Yeah.
The problem is those of us that are looking for something to invest 10 to 15 years of our lives into while we grind away till retirement, it's not that.
I think the biggest things that I hope they incorporate in the new game. I mean, because obviously there's going to be another Destiny, so I think things they need to learn from this whole experience. I think you're right. I think you're spot on. It's a different community, and it's introducing something that nobody else has done really. I mean, plenty of people have made MMOs and plenty of people have made first person shooters, but nobody's really combined it at the level of that they have with this game. I think the thing that I want to see out of that game, and I doubt we'll see it during Destiny 1, is something that allows people to interact more with strangers in regards to doing raiding. Because one of the biggest problems that I was running into was I wanted to raid, and I was on the level, and I had committed enough time to raid, but yet none of my friends were logging on, and I couldn't actually complete raids. And don't give me the PS4 like, oh, it's because you didn't buy a PS4, Lance, and so we couldn't all play together. Because I felt that coming. I felt it coming, Arthur.
But that's an obstacle. That's an obstacle, though, right? Like, I think at this venture, they should really consider.
Well, you have to use an app outside of the game in order to connect to play raids. Like that's why would you do that?
Oh, because I want to say somebody from Bungie came forward and said the reason why we made it this way is because we want you to communicate better with your friends, and we want to create that level of commitment has to come within your group of friends or something to that degree.
Yeah, it's a bullshit excuse for saying we didn't want to write the code. I mean, that's really what it is. Like, like, what game has not inspired us all to sit around the water cooler at the office and bullshit about it, right? Like, we do that every day. It's not about communication. It's about, I don't know. I feel like they overcommitted on the app, and they try to like pawn that mobile experience off to something, and that's where we end up with, right? We end up with, I don't know, garbage interactions.
When as you said, they're definitely going to do a Destiny 2, and hopefully they with Destiny 2 they just tell us their intent rather than what the end product is going to be, because it kind of falls into I don't know, for lack of a better term, the Molyneux effect. Like, I'm going to promise you everything, and this is what it's going to be, and this is what it's going to do.
And Fable's going to wash your car.
We should actually, just like I made the Aliens Colonial Marines Award, we should make a Molyneux Award. Yeah.
Like, that's what Destiny reminds me of. It's just like every time Peter Molyneux makes something, he's like, this is going to be amazing, and it's going to do this bajillion things. Just kidding. It's going to do these 10 things, and then it's going to be meh.
And I think a lot of studios fall into that trap. I mean, I'm thinking of Double Fine when they did their first Kickstarter, right? And they raised millions of dollars, and they had this long list of features and a really, really tight release schedule. And they missed the mark because they'd overcommitted, right? Like, they hadn't actually sat down and said, okay, if we get this kind of money, how long will it really take us to do this? They just said, if we get $5 million, we'll give you the fucking moon. And I think at some point, game studios, as zealous as they want to be, as excited as they want to be, they do have to do a business analysis and look at it like, okay, we have 60 devs, total on our team. Can we actually reach this commitment in a reasonable time frame without going under? Yeah. Because there are costs associated with the game. If the game's not on the market, then they're not making any money. And they need to... I love it when a developer like Blizzard, for example, hits their commitments exactly and takes the correct amount of time to do it, I guess.
No, that's not necessarily true. I mean, look at Blizzard's missed on a few things. Blizzard is great, though. I will say, out of everybody, they've definitely, said we'll put it out when it's ready, kind of thing, But yeah. I'm not gonna complain about Diablo too much, but I don't think Diablo 3 finished product was as good as it could have been. I mean, think about launch day on Diablo 3.
It was a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, aside from the server disaster, there was nothing in that game that they didn't say would be there. And there was, like, I don't feel like there was a... Oh, yeah, good point. No?
Yeah, there wasn't PvP.
And they still don't have it.
Yeah, they still don't have it, you're right.
They just gave up on it.
Yeah, they've pretty much abandoned that game, haven't they?
No, they're still rolling out updates for it, and honestly, I feel like that game has done such a good job of evolving to closer to what it should have been at original launch.
Yeah, but I played that game. I played that game 2 years, I think, before launch at BlizzCon, and I had dreams about it. It was so fucking awesome, and it's not the same game as what they had in beta or alpha or whatever I played.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think a concern I have with that game is a lot of the stuff Blizzard has made has been timeless. I don't know if Diablo 3 was timeless.
Yeah.
I mean, I played Diablo 3, the main story and campaign. I ran back with some buddies and did a few extra side missions. And then after that, I kind of jumped into... Oh, and I played the expansion. But once I finished the expansion, there was really no reason for me to want to go back, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, I rebought it on the Xbox One just to see, because I'd never played it on the console, and I don't love it, and I don't know. I have a couple friends that are playing the fuck out of it, and I just don't get it. Like, I'd rather do something different. I don't know. I'm gonna have to come play Final Fantasy, but we're taking a long time on this, and we're getting off track. So let's talk about Mortal Kombat for 20 minutes.
Let's do it. 25 and a half minutes. 10 years. All Mortal Kombat.
So I've seen a lot on this game. It looks fucking beautiful. It looks fun as shit. However, the thing that I struggle with, Tom, and maybe you can help me with this, is I have played I can think of maybe a few fighting games. I was really big on Soul Calibur, and I've yet to find a fighting game that really appeals to me as much as that game did. So
Mortal Kombat, you have to kind of throw away, I don't want to say everything you know about, not everything you know about fighting games, because it does have a lot of the technical fighting game aspect, But I mean, you have to kind of do what Mortal Kombat does, and the big thing they do is they kind of throw away anything serious, right? They take it very tongue in cheek, and you'll get that just from the fatalities, right? Like when Johnny Cage tears a dude in half and peeks through, and like yells, "Here's Johnny." That's when you're like, okay, these guys are just having a great fucking time making a cool game. I don't know, Jacob. What do you think, man? You've been playing it.
I've been digging it. You just gotta. The thing with Mortal Kombat is it's all about over the top action now. Like that's where it's evolved from. So as long as you go in knowing that it's just going to be ridiculous,
Yeah.
like it's like watching cheesy sci-fi movies. It's like the Big Trouble Little China of fighting games. Like you're going to have a good time, but it is completely ridiculous.
Yeah, I do love. I mean, I think from like a technical perspective, the frame data feels pretty solid. The negative edge feature is really interesting. So for those that don't know, negative edge is, and I actually learned this today when I was trying to figure out some stuff, but it's when you release an input in a fighting game, the negative edge is if you release that input and the game takes that as an input, if that makes sense. So by releasing the X button, for example, then the game will take that as an additional press of the button X, which can help with some combos. In MKX, that can also hurt it, mainly because certain combos require timing specific or they require certain buttons, and so there are people that are either turning off negative edge, or they are and you can actually go into your settings and turn that off if you know that's a problem for you, or you can just there's another workaround I've seen where people are actually leaving the button pressed in and then hitting the next button then releasing. But it's kind of cool because it's a neat link of chain comboing. So like Street Fighter is very frame specific, right? If you do a move that's either +2 or +3, you have a couple frames to get that next move in, or you're not going to hit. With Mortal Kombat, you've got chains. So, I'm playing on PlayStation, so square, square, triangle is usually like a 3-punch combo, and then you can generally do like a special move after that, or you can do an EX move to launch them. Once you've launched them, if you want to juggle them, then it's timing. Then you've got to hit the next move at the right time and get your next chain input in. So that's something that I thought was really, really fun, because you don't have to, instead of having to be like exact on frames, move after move after move, it's 3 buttons, be exact, 3 buttons, be exact, which I think is pretty fun. And I think the characters are just really, really well put together this time. It feels a little more balanced, even though I still think Liu Kang and Sonya Blade are super overpowered as of right now, and Kung Lao, but that could change.
Oh, you kids and your Mortal Kombat X's. We had Mortal Kombat 2. Oh, Lance.
He just talks right over your jokes. He doesn't even listen.
I don't care.
You're dropping jokes and Lance is just bulldozing you.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually I'm lagging, I think, so go ahead.
No. So let's start fresh. No. Okay, so what were we going to say, Lance?
Oh, I was just going to say, is this a game that I could actually pick up? Like, is there a barrier to entry? I mean, can I still, have fun at a basic level and advance in it? What's the technical? Do you feel like this is as technical as Street Fighter?
No, it's not. I mean, it's got some technicality to it, but it's still a ton of fun. I mean, after work tonight, the wife just wanted to play, so we sat down and played for about an hour and a half. And basically the name of the game was mash buttons at each other, and then whoever won got to do their fatality. I mean, that was... And the fatalities, I feel like this has the most ridiculous fatalities ever. I don't know. What do you think, Jacob?
I don't know. I think part of the reason is I don't necessarily know that I'm disappointed, but I think that I'm just expecting more over the top, and some of their fatalities are just kind of really? That's where you went with that? And then other times you're just like, what the hell? Like when Liu Kang kicks somebody apart with split kicks, and then their body parts are raining down on him.
Whoa.
And or there's Cassie Cage who cuts somebody's mouth off and then takes a selfie and posts it to Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty damn funny.
It's pretty good, and I think that's just a whole new level. And they're not, as much as they're telling a serious story that they always, all fighting games have a kind of shit story, but I don't know. I'm really digging it. I'm having a lot of fun. I think we're all gonna have beverages and play Mortal Kombat Saturday night, and I'm looking forward to it because it's just a lot of fun to get in on it. And I think it's one of those games. I really hope the fighting game community picks it up and holds on to it, the game had a ton of hype. I mean, the midnight launches, I had friends hitting a lot of the different ones around Salt Lake. They were packed. Tons of people bought the game. My Twitter feed and Facebook feed were basically Mortal Kombat talk for 2 days. I just hope the game lasts more than a year.
Yeah,
is that really realistic for a fighting game, though? Even really good ones for a community to last that long?
Mm-hmm. I mean, Street Fighter's what? How many years has Street Fighter been out? 8 years?
200 years.
Well, think about it. Like, Ultra Street Fighter 4 has over 2,000 entrants at EVO this year.
Oh, okay.
And you look at Mortal Kombat 9, and it had basically last year been reduced to a side tournament where they had, 50, maybe 100 entrants. Injustice had the same fate. So I'm hoping that the NetherRealms games can start picking up steam, because I do feel like MKX is an incredible entry into the series, and it's a lot of fun.
The thing with Mortal Kombat 2 is it's depending upon who you're playing with. I mean, you're going to have a lot of fun, or if you have that one guy who just plays it over and over and over again and learns the one character and he never changes characters, then you're going to be really annoyed and not want to play with him.
Slide, sweep.
Yeah.
But all fighting games have that, and
and they all have that, but
I'm hoping a community.
I'm gonna jump kick. I'm gonna jump kick the fuck out of Tom. That's what I'm gonna do the whole time. Jump kick Tom.
I'm going to look at this screen. Oh, wait.
The difference with Mortal Kombat is that Mortal Kombat's so ridiculous that their characters are all unique. Their characters, whenever you choose a character, it doesn't feel like you're playing another character. The only ones I would say that kind of feel like somebody else would be Jackie and Cassie Cage. Just because they're sort of little bit lighter versions of their parent characters. So they have some similarities, but at the same time, they gave them their own abilities and mixed them up. But every character feels different and unique and over the top in their own way, and so you never feel like if I only choose this character, I'm going to lose every time.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know, because like there's plenty of games. I mean, Soul Calibur was a big They were a big abuser of that too, like where you'd have several characters that had the same moves, and then you'd make your own character, and it would still have moves of those characters, and it was just kind of a mess. And so that's good to know that they've done a good job with that. So
they haven't. Like, I feel like they've really done a good job of balancing out the characters. Like in the previous Mortal Kombat entrance, Jax was probably my least favorite characters. And in this one, he's actually one of my top. I want to play a lot more of Jax. I feel like he plays really well. He's got some good solid combos. He's not super complicated to get into, but he's got some good normals, some good moves. I really enjoy playing. Jacob, have you figured out who you're gonna focus on learning? I know you're talking about Cassie Cage as one.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna focus on either Cassie Cage or Kun Jin.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I was going to say, is Cabal in this one?
Cabal is not in this one as a playable character.
However, Zombie Cabal is in the story. Spoiler alert.
So Ed Boon has hinted that at some point you could see every character make a return. Like he's hinted at Rain being playable at some point, and
Rain.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of characters that people are there, and I mean, they're going to listen to their fans. They did it with Injustice. They heard it when everybody was pissed that they didn't have, was it Martian Manhunter? And they're like, all right, cool, we'll come out with Martian Manhunter. Like, I mean, they'll listen to their fans. And if somebody wants Cabal or somebody wants Cyrax or somebody wants Striker, and there's enough of a demand for it, then, I mean...
Ooh, Cyrax would be sweet,
They can easily add it. Here's the thing with this game, though. You have 25 basic characters, 26 with Goro, I believe. You technically actually have 75 characters because each character has 3, for lack of a better term, stances, and it changes up some of their moves. Now, a lot of their core moves will be the same, but then it adds new abilities and enhances certain abilities, and they might be more brawler-like, they may be more ranged attack, and it's just up to your playstyle, which is awesome. So if you like the way a character plays, but you're like, oh, I wish they were more in close combat, then there's a version of that character for you.
Interesting.
Well, and it's not so complex too, because I was really worried that the 3 different stances per character was going to be like almost 3 full different characters. They still have their base or core moveset, and then really you'll lose something and gain something by switching, or you'll just gain additional parts of something, which helps.
My stunt double, Johnny Cage, is a little bit cheap and ridiculous, and I kind of love it.
That's all that matters, man. Well, in some of the fighting games, guys, Javis Kant was talking about Sonya Blade in, what is her move? Special Ops mode, I think. Is it Special Ops?
Yeah.
That said her mix-ups are just crazy. She had a lot of really fast high-low conversion, a lot of cross-ups. So I think there's a lot to be learned in the game. And I think they could also, I mean, Street Fighter has 40 characters. I think they could really take it to that level without even going to the Hollywood thing and putting in Predator and Jason Voorhees. And they could put in 40-plus actual Mortal Kombat characters and keep it alive.
Hey guys, new character, Ron Swanson.
Oh my god.
Damn.
His fatality would be his disappointment in the fact that you're playing the game.
So God, I saw an interview with I can't remember which show they were on, but Ron Swanson was, or what's his real name? Yeah, he was on a talk show, and Lena Headey was on there, and she was fucking loving up on him so much. She's like, I love Ron Swanson, blah blah blah, with her English accent, and I want to be like, I wish I was Ron Swanson right now. So that man is a god.
What game modes have you played so far, Jacob?
Tower.
Okay, done that.
And yep, because it messed up and it wouldn't install some of the stuff for me, so I've been trying to figure out what the heck's going on. So I've done single fight, I've done tower. It was messing up and wouldn't let me play online, so I couldn't do any of the other faction stuff. I don't think the actual faction things have started yet, like truly started. So, but that'll be an interesting aspect to the game when that's all up and running at 100%.
Yeah, and I'm excited to get more into that because I'm still trying to figure out how I can do like a faction fatality and what that'll actually do for my faction, which I've picked, because there's 6 different factions. 5. You've got what, Shadow Warriors or something, the Dragon,
Special Ops, White Lotus, and something else.
Lin Kuei.
Yeah.
And I think I picked Lin Kuei because that's just kind of my thing. But the towers, what do you think about like the modifications in combat on the towers?
I haven't really looked into it, but I hear that it just completely changes up the game.
So, like, some of the things I've come across in the Living Tower is one of the levels, Cyrax bombs are rolling across the level. And so you'll be right in the middle of a combo and a bomb will go off and shoot you both into the air. And it can also be crazy because if you're not doing enough damage to your opponent, but you're getting hit with enough Cyrax bombs, I lost a match based on the fact that I just kept getting hit by Cyrax bombs.
That's crazy.
Or there will be like air juggles are increased, so when you uppercut somebody, their hang time in the air is really, really stretched out. What was the other one? There was one where fire and skulls were raining from the sky, and if they hit you, it would stun you. There was acid rain where like bubbles would come out of the ground, but they were very similar to the sonic bubbles that Reptile shoots, and they would pick you up and just lift you into the air. So that kind of adds a niche to it, but that's a good way to unlock some coins and some money to buy the crypts to get the fatalities that you didn't Google already. So,
guys, our friendship's back. Do they have?
At least that we know of.
That we see, and brutalities are way fucking hard. Like, so goddamn hard. You have to end the match before, like, you know, the final round with a certain combo or with a certain move, as well as generally land a certain move or combo a number of times throughout the match to get the brutality.
Like, one of them was you basically had to not be hit for 7 seconds and then kill the person with that special move. And then it would do this. Then it would do the brutality.
Or like Kano's was you had to land. Oh, let's see. I'm gonna read Eris's thoughts real quick. The problem I have with MK is I'm so used to MK1 where it focuses on actual special moves. Yep, I agree with you, Eris, there. Like, it doesn't have as much special move focus. The special moves are more of a linker. Also, Lin Kuei is fucking awesome. Oh, he picked White Lotus. So, Jacob, you and Eris are in the same boat there.
Sweet.
And I guess he hates Sub-Zero because he's a Scorpion guy.
I hate Scorpion. Scorpion goes straight to hell. That's why I stopped playing Injustice.
Yeah, I remember that when they added Scorpion to Injustice. I think there was a phone call of you going, "I'm going to work right now to trade this shit in. Like it's gone.
Yep.
I'm done." Like,
I was pissed. Like they said they weren't going to add Mortal Kombat characters to Injustice. It was going to be its own thing and stand on its own. And then I paid $15 for that pass. And what's the first thing they add? Scorpion.
Did you write Ed Boon a heated letter? Ed Boon a heated letter?
No, I didn't. I voted with my dollars by supporting them constantly.
I'm mad at you about Scorpion, but I'm buying MKX.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm a Sub-Zero guy too, so I'm really,
I like Sub-Zero and MKX. You know, I think the variations are really cool. Whichever variation Paul was playing last night, he had a lot of his tricks, so he could do like the ice statue where he'd turn himself into a statue.
Oh yeah, he was playing Grandmaster.
Who was it? Was it Scorpion that could throw like the shadow variants of himself? That was some bullshit.
That was Johnny Cage and his stunt double.
Right. Oh my god, that is the most frustrating.
And if you use it right, his stunt double would stop the counters from happening. So his stunt double would take the damage and not him.
Right. Also, I discovered what that weird sword thing with Kenshi does, Jacob.
Oh, okay.
It deflects projectiles.
Oh, nice.
So I had that happen to me a couple times this morning. But overall, I think it's a great fighting game. It's a lot of fun, and it's a good blend of a game that you can just pick up and bash on your friends for a while. If you don't want to learn how to do the button inputs for fatalities, there are the easy fatalities where you basically just push 2 buttons that cost you a coin, which you can also buy with real cash, which is kind of an interesting idea. I imagine a lot of parents are going to hate it because their kids will be buying the easy fatality.
It's like $1 for 5 of them, so it's not like it's a crazy amount of money. So
that's not bad.
It's just the idea of charging for less button inputs. Like,
yeah, and at the same time, like they know that most people won't care, but there's always that one stupid person. They're the same person who plays like Farmville, who's got to get whatever it is that Farmville needs.
I feel like we should do a whole show on Cow
stuff.
On Cow Clicker. Did you guys ever see Cow Clicker?
Nope.
It was a game that the studio made to be ironic, and it ended up being really fucking popular. But basically, you would just click on cows.
Sounds boring as fuck.
And then it had a cowpocalypse. I don't know. Go look it up on Wikipedia. It's a really interesting read.
All I know is that at some point, the Predator Prey pack comes out, and I could give a shit about playing as Predator, but you get Carl Weathers as Jax.
And Jacob that'll be the day
I am
Jacob
so
picks
excited
Jax.
to play as Carl Weathers as Jax.
And I really hope they like do the whole thing where like Predator blows his arm off and then comes around and like lifts him up. That'd be fucking badass.
That would be
so
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of it going for it. Johnny Cage does look a lot like Duke Nukem Eris, actually, and I'm kind of happy and sad you pointed that out, because now every time I see him on screen, I'm going to be like, hey, Duke. Sup, dog?
Hashtag where's my bubble gum?
Hashtag. I don't know. I don't have much more to say about MKX. I think it's a fucking great game.
Who here has been playing the most as Reptile?
I played him 3 times, maybe me.
So Tom.
How? Oh, okay. How's he played? Did they get him right? Did they do him justice? I love me some Reptile.
Yeah. Did you play MK9 or whatever they called the last MK?
Yeah.
He very similar character model.
Okay.
You know, he's got the kind of
so badass.
Yeah, more animalistic looking. He's still got the kind of like that prey thing. His styles are really cool. You can't vary the speeds on his sonic ball. I don't know what it's really called, but you can't vary the speeds. You just have one.
Sonic boom, Tom. Jesus.
Oh, sorry, it's a sonic boom. No, you know what I'm talking about, though, right? His ball that lifts in the air. You can't really vary the speeds on it. I watched so Chris G, who's a really prevalent fighting game player, posted a Reptile combo video that was sick as shit. I can forward it to you.
Okay.
And yeah, Eris, I'd agree. I think he's more of a Poison style, is more of the classics. They have there's is it Poison or Noxious or something like that. There's Stealthy, which is, I'm assuming he can disappear. I haven't played that version. And then there's more of a physical claw. That's one thing he has that's kind of cool, is he's got a move that he's kind of leaps forward and he claws, but it goes over projectiles, so it's a great counter. I used that a couple times today and I thought it was pretty sweet. So I think any of the characters with a little bit of practice and a little bit of love and care can be an awesome character.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty unique in the Mortal Kombat world, because even in MK9, I feel like Cabal was just super strong. And they had a couple characters that were way, way powerful, and the rest of them were kind of afterthoughts. And I think that's one thing they learned from Injustice is balance, and I think they're applying it to the game really well.
Well, yeah.
But I think Saturday night you'll have to play some Reptile.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, and I love Reptile, and I'm super excited to play as Carl Weathers, like Jacob mentioned. Like, I hope they have quotes from Arrested Development. Like, when he does a fatality, he's just like, baby, you got a stew going.
I like one of the little things I like about the game too is that when the match starts, they all talk to each other and they talk shit to each other, which is awesome. And it's always character specific.
Yeah, you just push a button, it jumps past it.
Yeah, but usually it's just kind of funny, and so you're usually chuckling.
So now that we've raved about it for 15 or so minutes or 20, I don't know how long we've been going. What are our critiques of the game? What are our negative thoughts, if any?
It doesn't. Some of the move sets require you to hit certain button combos together, like back and square, and then go into another move set. I find that it doesn't always track your combo well, and so you're hitting it correctly, but it just chooses not to take it.
Hey Jacob. So if you have negative edge turned on, it's counting the release of the button as an input.
Okay.
Which has been fucking with some people's combos.
That's probably what's messing up some of my combos.
But I think that's one of my biggest critiques, because Steve was talking to me about it this morning. He was asking me what negative edge was in fighting games, and we were talking. And I find it weird that would be an all or nothing thing for the game. Like, there are characters in Street Fighter that use negative edge as an input. You know, Cody, you hold down 2 punch buttons, release it, he does like a haymaker, and other characters have that. It seems odd to me that they weren't able to program it so that certain characters that needed negative edge could have it, and other ones just didn't account for it. I think that's a mistake on their part, not taking into account that not all characters need it. But
yeah.
I'm really bothered by the buying easy fatalities. That kind of bums me out, and I have to say that so far in the story mode, I'm not impressed. It's not amazing. It's okay.
They never have been though. Like, if you're playing a fighting game for the story mode, like,
right.
I think you're playing the wrong game.
But you have to play, if you want to unlock Shinnok, you have to play through the story, which is kind of a bummer.
You don't.
What do you have to do?
So that's the way you're supposed to, but everybody who bought the Combat Pass and the game, if you enter in the Combat Pass, they give you the Samurai Pack, and there's a Samurai costume for Shinnok, which automatically unlocks him.
I should have bought that goddamn pack.
And I mean, it's not saying, like, I bought it just because I know I'm going to get all the other characters, but it's just kind of something, like, as long as you have something for one of those characters, it automatically unlocks.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of like the fatalities you don't actually have to buy in the crypt if you just look them up. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's cool. That's good they're doing that, because I really didn't want to play through the story. It's not bad. It's just... I don't know. It's alright. It's better than the Deception storyline, I guess.
Oh, come on. You don't want to test your might?
Dude, test your might is hard as shit, Arthur. So, and maybe I'm just not coordinated, but you have to mash all 4 of the input buttons. So you're mashing the hell out of them. And then to actually karate chop whatever you're trying to break, it's L2 and R2. So you're mashing with this thumb, which I can't even mash fast enough, and then you have to squeeze it.
Well, you were showing me the motion on your lap today,
yeah.
And it was like, that looks fucking impossible.
I was basically shoving, like, I was doing this with my finger to get the speed, and then shoving L2 and R2 into my knee to get the trigger to go off, because I couldn't do it any other way. And the first thing you break is, like, a titanium Mortal Kombat symbol, which I love how over the top it is. But anyway, if you're not playing Mortal Kombat X and you're a fighting game person, you're missing out. And yes, Eris, I think you're right on using it as a training ground to find who you like is a smart move, because it's kind of rough.
Absolutely.
And I like Johnny Cage more than I thought. So.
Well, he's always, like, to me, he's always been that character you just didn't really care for, right? Like, I never played Cage. Cash? I never played him in the original games. I thought he was super cheesy and obnoxious as fuck. But it's nice that they're actually... Like, they don't take themselves so seriously anymore, you know? Like, in the old games, that's how it was. It was built around that.
Sorry, Lance. I was just thinking about Johnny Cash being in Mortal Kombat. Like
That'd be so sweet.
Ring of Fire is his fatality, and it's at
No.
his place at Folsom Prison.
Like when he comes in, it plays
Yeah.
the when the man comes around. Like that'd be so sweet.
His projectiles, he throws an upright base at you.
Or better yet, like his fatalities, he throws you on a saw or whatever.
Oh. Dude, that's Kung Lao's fatality, and it actually makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Like, it's hard to watch Kung Lao's fatality for me. I don't know about Jacob, but it's pretty disturbing.
I don't know.
All right.
The one that I struggle with is Cassie Cage's X-ray attack.
Oh yeah.
She basically uppercuts right in the nuts, and you just watch the testicles go up into the body.
It's so bad.
It's so mean.
Dude, you guys should watch. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was like a famous football player. I think I sent it to you guys at work. It was a famous football player and a couple other people playing MKX before it came out. Oh, Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, we talked about it. It was the Super Bowl thing.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. The looks on their faces.
shit!
Yeah, that one guy. It was just classic.
Yeah, that pretty much sums up the first time you play through MKX, because last night it was basically me, Paul, and Jacob dying of laughter as crazy shit unfolded. So anyway, so MKX is great, is the moral of this rant. There's a few things about it I don't like, but for the most part I think I would say it's probably
They get a
worth the
lot
60.
more right than they get wrong.
Oh, it's good to know.
Yep, and I think, if you find it for less than $60, you should just buy it. Not even a question. But I think even the $60 price tag is worth it.
Cool. All right. Well, there you have it, folks.
Word.
And that is the whole goddamn episode. I'm cutting this shit off. So thanks for watching. You can find us at entertainmentisdead.com. We have a YouTube channel. Check us out, Entertainment is Dead, YouTube. I think it's EID Podcast if you want to get specific.
Yeah, same on Twitter as @EID Podcast.
Tom is at Thomas Winkley. I am at Chuck Sweat. Jacob is at Jacker Jake. And my other buddy that looks like Tupac is at _diplomat.
You got it.
Correct. Yep, keep checking back. A lot of cool stuff coming your way. I got nothing. I'm out of
I'm
words.
fucking tired. And I forgot Arthur's name for a second.
My buddy.
I was like, oh my god, I have to remember all this shit.
What up, Tom?
Are you gonna be on your Vita later so I can send you messages while I put Breath of Fire?
Yes.
Awesome.
Can we turn this shit off?
Let's be
Turn
message
off.
buddies.
Let's get off live.
All right.
Later.
Okay.
guys.
Eris, thanks for tuning in, man. You're Gentleman and the Scholar. We'll get those Mortal Kombat games in sooner than later. We can play against my Jacks. I'm going to black now. I'm turning off the audio.
Tom.